I think there's some assumptions that delegates have made about regionalization that may not be entirely correct. One is that it's something new that sprang up after the 2019 special session, and that is not the case. There are some things that this legislation does not do. It does not change the language in the discipline, which is something that I know is important to some delegates, but this legislation does not do that. It's important for the delegates to know that the adaptability portion, which this is based on, that hasn't been established yet. The General Book of Discipline is not finished. So we don't really know what, if for sure, will be adaptable and what won't be adaptable. That we have a draft of that in the current legislation, but it's not complete. So there are things that we definitely know are not going to be adaptable. We cannot adapt our Constitution. We will not adapt our theological task. We will not adapt the doctrinal standards. We will not adapt the ministry of Christians, and we will not adapt the social principles. Those things are not adaptable. In addition, this legislation does not remove the language around homosexuality in the discipline. It's not set up to remove that through this legislation, and it also does not change the definition of marriage. It does change the opportunity to do ministry in a regional context. So the organization of ministry would be adaptable. There's adaptability for the clergy qualifications, such as their education, and those things, although are now reserved for the General Conference, would be done regionally, but they can also be added to by annual conferences, because annual conferences are the final authority on how the clergy are approved. So that's one of the things that would be adaptable, and we are would also, this legislation would also allow for the adaptability of chargeable offenses. So those could be changed in the regions. So those are some of the things that we know now would be adaptable and not adaptable.